another fantastic day, and we're so happy to be a part of yours. Of course, this is Wake Up Nigeria, your #1 breakfast show.
Yeah, and that's why we have, the whole show, especially planned for your delight, because there's no other place in the world we'd rather be.
As you know, we have 3 hours of nothing but non-stop entertainment lined up for you on today's edition of Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Titilayo Onyinsong.
And I'm Yomi Okwe. We're streaming live right now on tvcontinental.tv and on Facebook, TVC Connect. Send in your comments on social media using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria.
Now, that app that you haven't downloaded yet, yes, go to the Android or iOS store right now and look for TVC Connect. Our mobile app helps you watch us and quite a lot of other great shows from anywhere in the world.
Yeah. So how'd the rest of your holiday go?
Well, hey, I went to have a ball, really. There was a birthday party. Those compound birthday parties.
I'm just wondering why you got time to do that here and still go to a birthday
party.
I'm
just dynamite like that. A big shout out to Fola.
Just turn around, let's see the back of the head.
Woo!
There she is.
Woo! Yeah, thank you, Yummy. Thank you. I needed that.
Very nice. Very different.
Oh.
And hashtag Wake Up Nigeria.
Of course.
Let us know what you think of Titi's new hair. Ask her if her husband approved for her to shave off the back.
Okay.
Shaving off one side is
so you know what? We're going to talk about that on the couch. We have to tell people what we have on the lineup.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
Usually we like to start off with some great music. Joining us for a hip-hop performance is the duo of Lil Yinkson and Weezy. Now, their real names are Yinka Adekola and Olumuyiwa Awodire, and they're going to be performing soon. Thing sure comes with celebrating birthdays.
Yeah.
That's a lot of love from friends and, of course, family.
Yeah, and of course, we're going to be extending that love your way this morning.
And for more music, we have Yetunde Duduyemi and her band to serenade us with some delightful music. Now, she's an alaga and she has her own special style of performance.
Yeah.
That should be an interesting one.
I know how those people behave. But anyway, and for some education on how Asoebi should be used, joining us to teach us on Asoebi etiquette. I didn't know there was an etiquette for Asoebi.
There is.
Is Janet Adetu. What to do if you didn't buy the Asoebi and you want to use the same color on that day.
Well, that is actually a good point there.
Yeah.
We should talk about that.
Sharp people.
We have book chat today, and the author of the book we have today is Mojisola Obazwaye. Now, she's going to enlighten us more on the direction her book is coming from. Use what you have. That's the name of the book.
Yeah,
right?
what you want. Yeah. And for our display, self-taught Nigerian photographer Alfredo Akimade, who produces premium photographs through the use of detailed documentary-style storytelling, is going to be joining us today.
And finally, joining us for a chat and a performance is jazz pianist Wole Oni. Now, he's carved a special identity for himself in the world of jazz and gospel music. He's also a music producer, programmer, writer, and so much more.
Yeah.
Boom! It's Thursday. Okay, so Yomi started something. I want to ask you, did I get approval?
It was a joke, Joe. Go away.
He said, did I get approval?
For the hair, yeah.
For shaving my hair. And I'm like, wow, okay. First of all, do women actually need approval from spouses before they do a particular hairstyle? That's one.
Hang on.
That's one. Wait.
It's not safe after you even take all the time to make your hair. They appreciate it.
Oh, it was doing 12. You just said it was a joke.
No. I just wanted to address it.
Did you hear what you said? It was doing 2 of you.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way,
of which
Arsenal fans. Wait, yesterday.
Wait, time during the sport.
No, wait, calm down.
I
need to talk.
I have to say
we are not Arsenal fans on this couch.
Just calm down.
Are you an Arsenal fan? Why are we talking about Arsenal?
Some people almost killed themselves.
Oh my God.
Serious matter. Yes.
Seriously, what happened?
Oh God.
So they went.
To give them 4. 4-1.
All right. So for the record.
Oh, it is Arsenal.
Yeah, well, I'm an Arsenal fan, yes. But this is actually my husband's favorite hairstyle.
Are we going back to that?
Yes. Because he called me out.
No, wait.
Yes.
Hang on.
I have to address
I was trying to make a point.
What? You don't like it?
No, now, didn't I say I liked it? That's the first thing I said. I asked you to turn around, and you turned around and everything.
And then you not asked me if I had permission. So the permission
If you had
issue.
permission to shave the back.
So I want to talk about permission issues because of the issue of the finance behind making women's hair.
Exactly.
Wigs, nails, makeup, and all this stuff that happens when people want to go
The day
for
my husband
OAME.
found out that I used 10,000 naira to make my nails.
Yeah.
You
That was all you did?
10K to make your nails.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Gee.
Like my nails, my both nails, my hand, my fingernails, and my toenails.
Oh no! What did he
10K,
say?
yeah.
What did he say?
Well,
He was just silent.
yeah.
And on that note, I think it's about time we take the news update.
Welcome to the news. President Muhammadu Buhari and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo have officially begun their second term. This followed the swearing-in ceremony, which took place at the highly secured Eagle Square in Abuja. TVC News senior correspondent Femi Akonde reports.
An inauguration to remember for a president and vice president fresh out of a hard-fought election. Everyone here passed through a tedious security screening before they could gain access into the Eagle Square. An array of invited guests, service chiefs and the Inspector General of Police are here to see the swearing-in ceremony of President Muhammadu Buhari and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. The ritual military parade of a presidential inauguration did not happen, and the president did not deliver an inaugural speech, perhaps in compliance with the announcement of a low-key celebration. After solemnly swearing an oath of allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, all eyes are on Mr. President as he steers the country through the next 4 years.
The President said in the recent interview that he will give serious consideration to security and welfare of Nigerian citizens. To me, those are the high points.
At tackling corruption, tackling the issue of job creation, a lot of our youths are out of jobs, many graduates coming out, no job. Tackling the problems in the education sector, in the health sector. So I believe that he will address them because he knows. And also agriculture, because in agriculture you can create a lot of jobs.
I think one of the biggest problems they've had in the last 4 years is their inability to send the message properly to the Nigerian populace so that everybody understands on what page we are on and the direction we're going to. First on our agenda is to ensure that the insecurity in the country is further tackled.
We must, as a country today, as from today, renegotiate our stand with World Trade Organization. Make sure that whatever can be produced or planted in Nigeria must be banned. It is time that we take our destiny by our hand. Everything that we have here must stop to be imported. Therefore, we must enhance and boost our agricultural sector.
Democracy in Nigeria is 20 years, but it has come with its troubles and triumphs.
Indeed, low-key it was, but it officially activated the next level agenda of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration as the president and the vice president hit the ground running. Expectations are also very high. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
Now, apart from President Muhammadu Buhari and Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State, 28 other governors took their oath of office yesterday. Let's give you a feel of some of the inaugurations in the state. Now, Enugu State Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi was sworn in for a second term in office in a ceremony at the Michael Okpara Square. It says it will devote more resources to sustain the state's security infrastructure and provide the necessary environment that will reduce urban and rural migration. In Ogun State, residents were assured of better days ahead as the new governor, Dapo Abiodun, took the oath of office at the MKO Abiola Stadium, Abeokuta. The event was witnessed by party supporters, traditional rulers, and former governors of the state. And Governor of Yobe State, Maimala Buni, and his deputy, Idi Gubana, took the oath of office at the government house, Damaturu. In his speech, Governor Buni said he would consolidate on the achievements recorded by his predecessor, Ibrahim Gaida. And in Gombe State, Governor Muhammad Yahaya promised to focus on rural development, education, and healthcare. It says his administration will review all appointments and sales of government property done after the election. And in Zamfara State, Mohammed Bello took the oath of office at the Trade Fair Complex, Gusau. It says his administration will focus on security, calling on residents to support his government. And the newly sworn-in Adamawa Governor Umaru Fintiri has pledged to ensure that his emergence heralds true change for the people of Adamawa. It says with the support of citizens of the state, his administration would overcome challenges. And then in Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, the incumbent governor, was sworn in for his second term in office alongside his deputy Hadiza Balarabe. They pledged to unite the state and focus on the education and health sectors. And then in Kano State, Governor Abdullahi Ganduje promised students in the state that they will enjoy free basic education. And people with special needs will also benefit from the initiative from primary to tertiary levels. And the swearing-in ceremony of Katsina State Governor Aminu Mesari and his deputy Mamiri Yakubu at the People's Square went on smoothly. He restated his administration's drive to restore people's trust in government. And then in Rivers State, Governor Nyesom Wike has also been sworn in for a second term in office alongside his deputy Ikpalibo Banigo at the Yakubu Gowon Stadium in Port Harcourt. In his inaugural speech, Governor Wike promised to put the interests of Rivers State first and pledged to work for its continued peace, unity and development. Emeka Ihedioha was sworn in to replace Rochas Okorocha as the governor of Imo State, and after his inauguration, he said his government will pursue a 15-point vision for the state. In Oyo State, Seyi Makinde was inaugurated as a governor, and he wasted no time in taking his first executive decision. He abolished the payment of 3,000 Naira development levy in state-owned secondary schools. And then in Nasarawa State, Abdullahi Sule has been sworn in as governor. He has promised to begin paying salary and pension arrears in his first 100 days in office. Then, after he was sworn in for his second term, Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State said it is the start of a new chapter in the march towards peace, unity and progress. He said February the 7th every year would now be Forgiveness Day. And the newly sworn-in governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, has made his first appointment. He has made Oyebisi Laka, his chief of staff, hinting that his appointment takes immediate effect. The governor made the announcement at the official handover ceremony at the Executive Council chamber in Ibadan.
And I will encourage, those of you that will be working closely with us to be open and transparent with us. We also give you the assurance that the business of Oyo State government will also be open and transparent from our own standpoint.
Engineer Seyi Makinde, the newly sworn-in governor of Oyo State there. And that's it on the news update for this hour. Weather update is up next.
Mike, we're looking at lots of stories about the inauguration yesterday.
Yeah, a lot of pictures too on the covers of the papers this morning. If we start with the Nation newspaper, we have this headline: Buhari governors take oath amid hope for better days. Sanwo-Olu, Makinde, Abdulrazak, Abiodun, others unfold agenda. Now, inside this particular edition of The Nation, it says, Nigerian off death row in Singapore. Yes, page 6 has more on that. Airways retirees get 22.6 billion naira entitlements. I have no problem with Jonathan, says Dixon. US-China brawl drives down oil prices. NYSC says stop overaged candidates. And woman arrested for own kidnap. That's what we have on the cover of The Nation.
Yeah, let's check out The Guardian. Knocks as Buhari fails to make inauguration speech. He missed opportunity to reassure Nigerians. Atiku, Jonathan, Obi, others absent. Oshomole breaches protocol. That trended yesterday on the internet. And Abuja residents groan under security lockdown and gridlocks. Ayade, I'll be project manager in my second term. That's news on page 5. And power failure, price fluctuation, conflicts still more agri sector. That's the agroeconomy report on page 40. Obasanjo, 392 others in Ethiopian Airlines near mishap. It's a case of bad weather, says Carrier. And that's what we have on the cover of The Guardian this morning.
We have the Punch newspaper coming up next. It says, federal government's social safety program gulps 471 billion naira in 3 years. Then there are pictures, of course, the inauguration proceedings going on with the president, vice president, and their wives. It says here, Buhari's inauguration, PDP, others knock president for keeping mum. Obasanjo, Jonathan absent. On the 30,000 naira minimum wage, it says here, Makinde says Oyo can't pay 30,000 naira minimum wage, scraps tuition. Federal government liable for rising insecurity. Afenifere Emir Ohaneze tell Buhari. NYSC to include date of birth on certificates. I'll prioritize education, health, rural roads, says Abiodun. Will thrive despite hard times, says Sanwo-Olu. And then finally, plane conveying Obasanjo, others experiences bad weather, lands at second attempt. That's what we have on the cover of the Punch.
All right, let's check out the Daily Sun. Here, Buhari stuns all with no speech at inauguration. Takes oath of office without usual acceptance speech. President expected to speak on June 12, and he, APC, overburdened by guilt, says PDP. And 393 air passengers in misapproach landing at Lagos Airport. Ethiopian airline plane aborts landing for missing runway alignment. Governors Sanwo-Olu, Ihedioha, Okowa, El Rufai, Wike, others unveil agenda. And Biafra, tension in southeast over sit-at-home. And then army, police mount checkpoints. IPOB members lock down Abakaliki, other cities. Ohaneze, ADF differ on event. And some other stories here. Melaye to deliver keynote address at Jesse Jackson's event in the U.S. And there's a photograph of the president there, President Muhammadu Buhari, acknowledging cheers after his inauguration yesterday for second term at the Eagle Square in Abuja. That's what we have on the cover of the Daily Sun.
Moving as quickly as possible, we have the Vanguard. Inauguration, Buhari mum as governors reel out promises. It also says here, Oyo can't pay 30,000 naira minimum wage now, according to Makinde. Abiodun vows to tackle unemployment in Ogun State. I'll fulfill campaign promises, says Sanwo-Olu. El Rufai extends maternity leave to 6 months in Kaduna. I'll build a stronger Delta, says Okowa. It says here, can to Buhari governors, don't disappoint the masses. Emir Sanusi absent as Ganduje is sworn in for second term. Bank CEOs condemn smear campaign by bad debtors. Obasanjo Abubakar Jonathan absent as Buhari or Shimbajo take oath of office for second term. And finally, on the Oshodi Apapa gridlock, it says truck drivers adamant maintain grip on road. That's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard.
Yeah, let's check out this day. Muhammadu Buhari sworn in for second term with high hopes. 29 governors take oath of office in low-key ceremonies, and 91 world leaders to attend June 12 Democracy Day event. And banks plan blacklist of chronic debtors to create black book, share details among financial institutions. Trade wars disruptions drag oil price down to $69 a barrel. That's a story you would find on page 8 there. And that's what we've got on the cover of this day.
Yes, and that's all we can take on the newspaper headlines for now. We'll take another set of headlines in the second hour of the show. We have to take a quick break, but we'll be back in a bit with the traffic situation.
You're on to Lagos traffic on Wake Up Nigeria, guys. And this morning, I will be giving you traffic updates from the Ikorodu axis, and as well, my team, or my gang, in the kitchen as well, will be giving us updates on social media. Hello, guys.
You've started with this, your gang.
All right. Since you want to drag my kidney this morning, let me do All right, so you can also be a part of this segment by sending a message on any of our social media platforms to let us know what the traffic situation where you are is like. But if you are on the Ikorodu area this morning, if you're in Ikorodu this morning, making your way out of Ikorodu to the office or wherever, the Ikorodu out of Ikorodu, if you're on your way out of Ikorodu, it's quite free. Approaching Agric bus stop is pretty tight, as in really, really tight this morning. But I'm sure that there are alternative routes that you can take to get out of that traffic situation if you are along, you know, the Agric, if you're in Agric at the area at this moment. But out of, if you're on your way out of Agric, the traffic is pretty light. Approaching Ogolonto, there's light traffic at the Ogolonto roundabout, but after Ogolonto, there's no traffic. It's free-flowing all the way to... So there are pockets of traffic here and there along the Ikorodu routes. All the way, there's free-flowing traffic, but, you know, pockets of traffic, of course. So on your way out of Ikorodu this morning, there is free flow until you get to some areas of Ikorodu, actually, out of Ikorodu. There's traffic here and there. But I don't know if you guys have any traffic updates right now while I try to update my...
Yeah, so we have quite a few tweets that have come in from about 6-7 minutes ago.
Okay.
We have, rather. At NG Car Parts says, Cathedral en route Falomo, currently good to go, but slight traffic at major alternations. It also says here, heavy, slow-moving traffic currently after ION and Abule Oshun under bridge along Badagry Expressway. It also says heavy, tight, slow bumper to fender. Wow. As in heavy, tight, slow bumper to fender traffic currently from Fagbem's inward mile 2. That's around Festac. And it also says immediately after Alaba Express, inward mile 2 is currently heavy, slow-moving traffic.
Okay.
This person is very emphatic about that.
Yeah, just one or two tweets here. Ilezik inward Ajayi Farm is busy. That's at Traffic Butter. And heavy traffic also, okay, you just mentioned Fatbeam's inward mile 2. And there's one other tweet here that I just wanted to take on Gidi traffic. That's PWD en route Bolade Oshodi. Officers are on ground there trying to control the traffic. It's heavy, but it's moving because of the last mile officers that are there. So that's at inward Bolade Oshodi through PWD.
All right, thank you very much.
Mike has...
There's something here, just a broken down truck immediately after Ilekpo inward Abuledo via the center lane along Badagry Expressway. So if you, Ilekpo Abuledo, so if you can escape that way, because normally at this time you might not have traffic officials there.
Thank you very much, Mike. Okay, so quickly, guys, let me update you on the traffic situation along the Keto axis. It's pretty tight at this moment. Approaching Ojota, if you are, on the way to the office this morning, well, if the alternative route you could take, maybe under the bridge through the Alakbere route, you could also try that as well. But the Keto axis right now is pretty tight at the moment. But hey, guys, I'll be joining the gang in the kitchen. What are we talking about this morning, guys?
Oh, wow. Yeah, so it's interesting she should ask that question, because I was just mentioning to Yomi, what happened online yesterday. Now, Mofe Duncan, the actor, came out onto his social media pages basically in a serious rant. Yeah. He put it on his Insta Live. He also typed basically an epistle on, how bad he feels about how people use other people's names, faces, to get money from people.
Who's that?
So, Mofe Duncan. So apparently there was a lady in the US who had been chatting with some young person or someone. Let's not say that it's a young person at this point. Someone who had used Mofe Duncan's picture to appeal for funds for some young child that was sick. And somehow, long story short, $20,000 was taken from this woman. Yeah. And somehow, I think because of his birthday and how his face was trending during his birthday, which was about 24 hours before, the lady got to know that this is not the person she's been talking to. First of all, he doesn't have a son, in the hospital. And he got screenshots of the whole conversation. Yeah. And even the person, I think someone actually accosted the guy. And the guy was, apologizing, saying he doesn't want to do this, but things are hard in Nigeria, and so all sorts of things.
But so somebody essentially used his face,
yes,
and collected money on false pretenses.
Exactly. On social media.
On social media. Now, the lady in question apparently is, doesn't live here. Didn't even know he was an actor. He just knew his face. She just knew his face. Didn't even know he was. So it's
like a popular person.
No.
So
she didn't
I
know.
mean, this is essentially like the normal advance fee for the whole thing.
Yeah. But $20,000. So the reason why people were actually talking about it was because he literally rained curses on this person. So he did not hold back. He rained the kind of curses that you wouldn't even want.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of thing that you would expect. You'd be upset if suddenly somebody stole your identity online and started pushing out.
And coupled with what he's going through at the moment, he's going through a divorce. So this is not even a time for, where do you even...
Extra drama.
Extra drama. Do you understand?
I think in some way, some or the other, celebs, our big celebs and all that, it's something they have to deal with. Yeah. It's in fact, that was probably, he heard about that one because that one was successful. So you'd see a number of other people still trying the scam who were probably
it's working for them,
successful. Yeah. So it's what we've been talking about, right?
Exactly.
It's the whole conversation about Yahoo, the whole Naira Marley thing, the whole tempered justice with mercy, which I can understand. But then we need to understand that, look, so someone said something and said, for most of you in Nigeria, for most people that have not maybe traveled so much, it's not really so much of a problem. When you go, if you are a traveler, and when you mention Nigeria, and you see the way people react,
exactly,
it's crazy.
You will understand that, you understand?
Painful it is.
You understand.
So it's one of the things that also made a lot of, so normally you wouldn't find, a lot of the major pastors on like Instagram and Facebook and all of that, commenting all of that. But I think about 4 or 5 years ago, a lot of them had to get official handles on those pages. So they could educate the public and their followers in their churches that we have an official page.
That's so a very popular scam.
All those Pastor Adeboye that you've been seeing.
Exactly.
Because a lot of those guys, they would then put their email address there. So you would think you're you're dealing with the pastor.
Pastor just say, I need to pray for you. Want to see this coming. I know. That was like the easiest scam.
Yeah.
Because I just get a message. Pastor's videos and pictures are everywhere.
Yeah.
I just put it up.
And that's very popular on Facebook. Very popular on Facebook.
The risk now has become even a health matter because, well, it's life or death for some people because the reason why he says he came out to curse the person is because he spent his birthday begging this woman to not kill herself because she had given her life savings of $20,000 to this person just to save a life. Whoa. So he said he rained all those curses because of the fact that she was so distraught that she said she wanted to kill herself. You know, so it's now going past even just losing money. It's people's livelihoods, people's families, taking out mortgages, you know, taking out loans to help people just with the mindset of doing something right.
She must be a really nice person, like a really good person for her to give so much to this cause.
The guy must have spun some serious story about it. Anyway.
Maybe his leg was on tortoise.
Well, we do have to take a break now and a performance after this. Now, this is Wake Up Nigeria, and you know that one of the things I will bring to you is great music. And we're going to be starting off the show today with a hip-hop performance to the duo of Lil Yingson and Muizi. Now, their real names are Yinka Adekola and Olumuyiwa Awodire. So, they are very versed in trap music and compare their sounds to that of international hip-hop group Migos. Now, these guys are joining us this morning. And, you know, together, they're called Too Sauce. Yeah. Too much sauce, man.
Too much sauce with that drip.
Yeah, I'm looking at all the bling on you guys right now this morning. Too much ice. Now, you guys, you know, the way it is, right, you know, this is hip-hop. This is core hip-hop that you guys do. Yeah. And a lot of times what you hear, especially on social media among young people, is that people don't really appreciate hip-hop in Nigeria. They like more of the Afro-pop and singing in traditional languages and everything. But why did you decide that this was going to be your core?
Actually, it's just like we get in that train of like following every other person's like we're just trying to make our own way, like the way Olamide did with every other artist that he got indigenous. But we try to do like, okay, English, like, okay, let's represent Nigeria, let's represent Africa, like the way he got other African rappers all over South Africa and the rest of them. So not like we're just gonna be left out. You see how Rema doing it in Mavens too. So we just come out like, okay, let's do this Too Sauce trapping thing, Lil Yingson, easy. Let's just do it for people to feel the thing, like, you know.
I love it, I love it. So now, trap music. You know, it's initially people were accepting it slowly, but it's catching on now. And there's a lot of guys out there, you know, apart from Migos, I mean, a lot of guys out there internationally who are doing real good trap music.
Lil Baby and the rest of them.
So who do you, apart from Migos, who do you guys feel are like your role models or your inspiration for writing your songs?
Basically, because like music is kind of wide, it just depends on how far you want to go. So just like we learn a lot from a lot of artists because we got a lot of genres, we got blues, we got hip hop, just like, you know, you learn a lot from different varieties just for you to accumulate a gain, or like for you to like be more superior than others. Because like talking of the greatest, talking of Eminem, like they just like, you know, you learn a lot from them because like I got a lot of, you know, a lot of quotes from like, you know, because Jacob says something like, you know, I learn a lot from this, learn a lot from that, but that really make me the greatest right now. So just like about it, like basically it's not about like trap, hip hop or stuff like, but rap, all kind of stuff. But like just
everything just comes together in what you do. So so usually, I mean, this kind of thing, one of the biggest challenges for musicians is finding the right people to work with, like the right producer, the right kind of songs, because sometimes, you know, you have something in your head, but you can't translate it into the music. So how do you guys do it? Do you produce or do you find the right producers in different locations?
The thing is, we try to connect with every producers that are actually around, you know, the ones, the successful ones and the ones coming up. And sometimes, you know, most of these big producers as well, you can get to work with them as well too. So you just get to find that producer who can actually fit in your kind of music, your kind of bit. You know, sometimes we're gonna just give you instrumental and you can't like, damn, I can't really flow with this. So boy, they give you that kind of instrumental, you're gonna be like, yeah, I get the vibe.
That's it. So you guys are gonna be doing something for this morning. It's Thursday, you know, so people are watching. It's a little bit cold. And so you know, so people are saying, you know, warm me up. So you guys are going to be warming us up. Too Sauce, ladies and gentlemen. Straight up. Doing something right now for us. All right.
chasing dreams for real. Chase the key, states the deal. Aiming gears, drip.
Wow, 1 hour's gone by already. And 2 more to go, so if you're just joining us, don't fret. We'll still have a lot of good stuff coming your way today.
In fact, quite a lot of great stuff. Now, the world is quite digital now, so you can pick up any mobile device and download the app for us. That's the TVC app. Trust us, it is worth it. Just download the TVC app from Android App Store and the iOS, right? iOS App Store as well. Just have it with you handy. Tell a friend about it so you can watch us from anywhere in the world.
Yeah, so get ready for another lap that's guaranteed to leave a smile on your face. My name is Yomi Orope.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. Remember, we're streaming live. tvcontinental.tv is the website, and on Facebook Live at TVC Connect. Please send in those comments. I think a few comments have come in on this hair already. Please make sure you use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria.
Yeah, we already mentioned about the mobile app, so make sure you go to that app store and download it. Now, of course, you know how it is. Every single day, there has to be something happening in the kitchen, and today is not going to be any different.
is right there with Chef AY. AY subs, Ayola.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I don't know. Why so calm?
Happy?
Why are you so calm?
I don't understand. I think it's just you. Like, even the baby is giving me some calm energies. I'm like,
nice.
It's working. It's just a calm day. Simple dish, too.
AY and MM have begun their drama already. Already.
You guys.
She came here looking like a chorister. I was asking you to go for choir practice after the show.
Please. She's holding a knife. Please be careful.
Yeah, but hey, she has something really delicious she will make it later on. So guys, don't go nowhere.
Yeah. Anyway, so earlier on we brought you some trap music from Two Sauce.
But we're gonna switch it up and give you some ibile kind of things. We have Yetunde Duriyemi and her band of drummers. Now she is an alaga and she has her own special performance put together. It's not your conventional band, but you're gonna enjoy this one.
And for some re-education on how Asoebi should be used on any given occasion, we have Janet Adetu, who's going to be talking to us about Asoebi etiquette.
It's an interesting
what to do and not to do
with Asoebi. And then we have our book chat for today. The author is really, really sweet lady. Now she has this great book called Use What You Have, Mojisola Obazwaye. She'll enlighten us a lot more on the direction that book is coming from. But I don't know, I'm making a lot of assumptions on what that's about. Just from the name.
To get what you want. Something like that.
Should be interesting.
And for art display, the self-taught Nigerian photographer Alfredo Akimade, who produces premium photographs through the use of detailed documentary style storytelling. And he's going to be joining us today to tell us some stories behind his photographs.
Then finally, joining us for a chat and performance is jazz pianist Wole Oni, who's carved a special identity for himself in the world of jazz and gospel music. He's also a music producer, programmer, writer, and so much more.
What else? If you're my kids, they must learn it.
They must learn music?
Yes. They must at least learn how to play 2 musical instruments. 2.
What if they don't want to? What if it's not in there? What if she wants to play football?
By force.
We learn it. It's by force.
No.
Our parents, see, there were a lot of things we wanted to do, we couldn't do. Our parents said, you must do what I want you to do.
Shouldn't we do better? We should do better by our kids than our parents did by us.
But the truth of the matter is, see, Mike, as much as we want to be 21st century parents, a part of our parents' life's childhood would always have that
because I know that Elsie
us.
watches football with her dad. Elsie.
Yeah, well, she does actually.
So I know that she'll have some football talent. She could be the future.
Anyway, she's still young, so she's not exactly sure what she wants. She's just looking at the TV. She's not exactly sure, like.
Yeah. So maybe she just likes. Maybe she just likes the movement.
All you can really do is introduce it and see if it catches on. That's all you can do. Yeah. Give them the opportunity. If they like it, great. If not,
so I like that. So give them the opportunity.
For males, they should play football. They don't need to like it. You got the money. Well, you get your issue, you must play.
Let's head it. All right, so yes, here we are in the kitchen with Chef Ayola of AY Subs. Ayola of AY Subs, of course. And this morning we are making sweet potato porridge. I was going to say sweet porridge.
I was wondering what put you there.
Potatoes, yeah. So yes, we are making sweet potato porridge this morning. Yes. And for those of you who are like ardent viewers of our show, you know very much that whenever Chef Ayola is around, she likes to be a bit more extra. Yeah. So you can be very, very much assured that she's not just making sweet potato porridge. She's making like pepper sauce alongside this with, garnishing it with, mackerel and, am I lying?
No.
Okay.
But this meal is less than 1,000 naira and it can feed about 3 or 4 people. I'll have you know. So it's not really about how much I use. It's about what you spread out with the little you have.
Well, when I said egg, okay, great.
Learn.
All right, so let's talk about the ingredients. Let's talk about the ingredients.
Like you said, I'm making a sweet potato porridge, but I like to complicate things and I add enough vegetables so you can use whatever you want to make your porridge. You can even use just carrots and sweet potatoes. Okay. So just boil your sweet potatoes, 100 naira worth, 200 naira worth.
They're pretty affordable.
Pretty cheap.
Very, very cheap.
And they're really healthy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so once you buy your potatoes, boil it with just a little bit of salt. Part 1, done. Straightforward. Hey, no complications.
Okay.
Cut up your carrots, onions, whatever vegetables you want to throw it. Just fry it a little bit like you're making fried rice.
Okay. So like you're stir-frying your vegetables?
Yeah.
Okay.
With a bit of curry to give you that color.
Vegetable oil, yeah?
Yes, vegetable oil. Vegetable oil.
Okay.
I like garlic a lot, so you can add a bit of garlic when you're doing your stir-fry.
Okay.
Once your stir-fry is done, toss it in to your potatoes that have been boiled.
Okay.
Very
straightforward. That's after the water has drained off.
No, you don't.
Has been drained off from.
You're going to drain off some water, but you want to leave some water as well because you want the water to form like a thick paste. You know how porridge you have that extra bit that's not just chunks. Yeah. So you want to leave a bit of water in there so that it will thicken up by the time this, gets infused in it. Okay. So you reduce it slowly. But sweet potato, by the time it starts to get soft, it thickens the water up.
Yeah.
And that essentially is your sweet potato porridge done.
Wow.
Very basic.
Very, very easy recipe. But like she also said earlier, it's very healthy. Yes. Now, what are the other side dishes that you're making alongside our sweet potato porridge this morning?
I'm doing a sauce.
Yeah.
Because I like chili. I'm all about my chili.
I know.
And it's a bit of a sweet dish for me that I don't think I could have it without anything that was a bit savory to go beside it. So I am essentially doing one of my best sauces. Is the easiest thing you can make at home.
Okay.
Essentially a little bit of oil, like anti-oil, as long as you have a good non-stick pan. You don't have to use that much oil.
Okay.
Toss in your onions, let it brown a little bit, grate some garlic. So I'll chop up these chilies, put it in there, a bit of seasoning cube, and leave it for 5 minutes and it's done.
Done.
Then I'll just put a bit of fish just so that you have a bit of extra.
Extra. All right, so, recently, so this conversation happening on Twitter and everyone, and it's like, it was more like an enlightenment for titles.
Okay.
So people say
sardines.
No, you see a hand. Now you have come again with your say sardines.
No, but they're sardines.
Yeah, but some people say they're mackerels.
Yes, they are mackerels as well. But you know that sardine, the fish inside sardine is not one.
We're not talking about sardine now. We are talking about the mackerel, the fish.
Yes.
The fish. This species of fish.
Yes, okay.
Anyway, so the fish is not what we are cooking on the show today. Okay. But I just actually wanted to let people know that they're actually called mackerels, not titles.
Okay, so because they said titles.
Yeah, because they always call it titles, but they are actually called mackerels. I just learned that myself as well, so come on, we're all learning together.
I don't know if I agree completely with that, because, well, let's not go into that, we won't finish today. But we'll do our research more and talk about it next time. But I don't think I agree with that totally.
Just in case you're just joining us, guys, we are making sweet potato porridge this morning, of course, with some spicy sauce, and Chef Ayola is, you know, doing justice to that already. But there's so much more coming up next on the show. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Wake Up Nigeria continues. Now, at this part of the show, we talk about what happens in this part of the world. We have certain traditions that hold strong value in the society, and Asoebi is usually sometimes at the forefront of this. Here to educate us more on Asoebi etiquette is certified corporate image etiquette consultant Janet Adetu.
Hi, Tutu.
Welcome
Good morning.
back.
Thank you.
You're looking so fresh and, well, refreshed.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back. So, Asoebi.
Yes, in fact.
Some people, when they hear Asoebi, they hear money. And then some people, when they hear Asoebi, they hear party.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, who doesn't love a party, at least to unwind, a wedding, a birthday, you know, whatever it is that you're going for. But Asoebi, let's even start from the beginning. What is Asoebi? It's just a kind of outfit that a group of people, family, friends, colleagues, tend to wear that is exactly the same. Some people might call it uniform or and co kind of thing, you know, but it's something that is like a souvenir to remember a certain occasion. It's something that you want to boost the spirit of the party. It's the life of the party. It's something that you want to just create that beautiful atmosphere when you walk into an event. Now, Asoebi is, you know, like I said, the kind of thing that we want to all wear together. It could be the headgear, it could be the material itself, it could be a scarf, it could be a tie, it could be something that, just anything, or the whole outfit, in fact, that everybody wears together, you know, and we tend to wear it at birthday parties, especially at weddings, mostly at weddings, landmark birthdays, for instance, funerals as well, a launch, an event, just something that you want everyone to, you know, feel the spirit of the party, really.
But then, okay, so we've landed on what it is and why we wear it. You know, but is there, are there certain rules you have to follow if you want to invite people to wear Asoebi?
Honestly speaking, the etiquette of Asoebi, you know, a lot of people there are two minds to it. One school of thought will say, I don't do Asoebi because I got a whole lot of clothes in my wardrobe and they're piling up there, and I'd rather just pick from what I have, just tell me the color scheme. There are some people that will say, what's the Asoebi? What are we wearing that day? You know, so some people are, you know, inclined towards it, some are not. There's a whole school of thought on that. But guess what? When you do want to, you know, tell people that there is Asoebi, first of all, you're sending out a save the date for an event, all right? It's in that save the date that you let people know that there will be an Asoebi.
What's the time frame for that save the date?
So sometimes it could be like 2 months, 6 weeks, at least 4 weeks before the event, ideally, you know, but give them enough time. Sometimes it could be 6 months or 4 or 5 months before the event, especially if you really want to coordinate a whole group of people to buy the Asoebi on time and you don't have any time lags. So generally speaking, you send out a save the date. You tell them that there is an Asoebi. If they're interested, they should contact a certain number. Now, in telling them about the save the date and in telling them about the existence of Asoebi, let them know how much it's going to cost. Let them also know the color scheme. Let them know, you know, when the last date for payment should be. Give them the account details, you know, and let them know how it will be delivered to them. Because the last thing you want is to buy Asoebi and they say, come and collect it, or send your driver. Factor the cost of that into it and get it across to them, because you can't expect someone to come from the mainland all the way to the island just because they want to pick up Asoebi. That's inconveniencing your guest to be, you know. So make sure that there are correct account details. Tell them that if they want to be recognized that they have paid, tell them to put their name. Please insert your name and say that this is Asoebi for you, because sometimes payment alerts come in, you just don't have an idea who has paid, and that becomes cumbersome, you know. But with
there are some consultants that actually handle this now.
Yes, in fact, you can actually get somebody to really if you don't do that, it will become another difficult thing, especially if you have a lot of people. So there are people that actually take care of your Asoebi. You don't have to do anything. Just tell them, this is the list of people that have, you know, indicated interest. And then this is the payment detail they pay. As they pay, you package that Asoebi and send it out to them.
So my next issue now is that question of, is it by force? Do I have to buy this Asoebi? Because I have, you know, been in situations where some people put the invitation to the event, the venue, date, time, inside the Asoebi. So if you haven't bought it, you're not going to know the venue, you're not going to know the time, you're not going to know anything about the event.
That's sort of like confirmation that you're coming, because sometimes people don't want to waste invitation cards anymore. You send out invites and people don't come. So some people think if you're actually coming, indicate that you're coming. And if you bought the Asoebi, then they send out the invites. But as per, is it compulsory? Absolutely not. You don't have to buy the Asoebi at all. It is by choice. Some people will ask, some people won't. But you know, if indeed people don't want to buy, or for any reason they have so many pink outfits in their wardrobe and they rather just pick out of their wardrobe, let them know the color, all right? The color of the scheme of that day. But guess what? In choosing your color, be mindful as well as to what color are you picking. When you put things like amethyst, argent, topaz, crimson, diamond, cobalt blue, people are like, hey, what is this? You know? But what is very important is in choosing your Asoebi, let it be affordable. All right. Sometimes you get some Asoebis that are so expensive. You're like, hey, and some people will say, well, I'm giving you enough time to choose, to have a choice and pay for it or save up for it before the day. But, you know, make sure it is affordable. All right. Some people have been known to inflate the price because they want to give you a gift along with it. And people know, you know, be very mindful of the people that you're sending out the gift to. If the fabric warrants the price and people can afford it, it's fine. I've seen some people have two prices, an expensive one and a cheaper one. But hey, it doesn't mean you need to buy everything. If you can only afford the headgear, then just go for the headgear. Or if you can only afford the fabric, just go for the fabric. But make sure that it's something that is affordable for your guests, because you don't want people frowning.
Honestly, I wish we could continue this, but I've learned quite a bit, and hopefully people have as well. Tell us your most weird Asoebi experiences. Please tell us about those. Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria. We have to head to the garden now. And we have Mike on standby with Yetunde Duduyemi. She is an Alaga, and she has her drummers with her. Let's watch this.
Okay, it's Thursday, and you know how it is on our Thursday mornings. We have wonderful music for you. We have Yetunde today and her indigenous band, looking so lovely. How are you doing, Yetunde?
Thank you, I'm fine.
Okay, so what are you going to perform for us today? What is it called? What is it known as?
Actually, this is Ayongbeno Ihanko traditional engagement.
Okay.
It's my profession. I love doing it. I have passion for it.
Wonderful. I can see the passion. How you guys doing? Okay, so they're going to blow your minds. I'm very, very sure of that. Okay, Yetunde, take it away.
Wake up, Nigeria. Wake up, Nigeria. Wake, Nigeria, wake. Nigeria, wake. Wake. We are HAPPY. We are HAPPY. I know we are sure we are HAPPY. We are HAPPY. Come on, let me hear you sing. We are HAPPY. We know we are sure we are HAPPY. Hello, Nigeria. Hello, Eledumare, Ọba mi Ajiki. Hello, Eledumare, Ọba mi Ajiki. Àríró àlá, elétí tó lùkárà bí ajere. Mo yíká tún, mo yíká òsì f'Elédùmarè ọba. Ìbà fún gbogbo àwọn àgbààgbà tó wà lórílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá pátápátá. Ẹ jẹ́ ojú mi ṣe. Tọ́mọdé bá ti bọ̀wọ̀ fágbà dandan ni kó máa rí ṣe. Ayọ̀ ń gbénú ló kí yín lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Kábíyèsí Ọ̀nìrìṣà Ọ̀jájá Òsì tilé Ifẹ̀ mo ṣe bàrẹ̀. Aláàfin Ọ̀yọ́ orúkọ la fi ń pọba aládé mo ṣe bàrẹ̀. Mo yíká ọ̀tún mo yíká òsì forí adé. Adé kó pẹ́ lórí, ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀ kó pẹ́ lọ́wọ́, bàtà ẹsẹ̀ kó pẹ́, ẹṣin ọba kójó kó pẹ́ pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́. Àwọn olórí láàfin kí wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ ìbí pẹ́. Ìbàdàn Mẹ́sì àgọ́ o. Gbogbo Ọ̀yọ́ pátápátá ọmọ jẹgbẹ́jẹ karahun ó fi karahun fọ́rí mu. Gbogbo yín ni mo kí. Ọmọ Ọ̀yọ́ wọ́n yí dà ẹ jẹ́ ká rọwọ́ yín. Let me see you wave your hand, wave your gbogbo yín ni mo ń ké sí. Èmi ò ní fọwọ́ sí ju wẹ́lẹ̀ bàbá mi o. Ibisa bébí mi lọ́mọ Oǹdó nílé ní tèmi. Èmi lọ́mọ wọn lóńdó kí àgbẹ̀ àkókò. Ọmọ ríjà má jẹun ẹnu o. Ọmọ méjì káyẹ̀ nà bí ọ̀pá o. Gbogbo Oǹdó jẹ̀rọ̀wẹ̀ lókè 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 o. Oǹdó ó yá gbé bọ́dì ẹ gbé bọ́dì ẹ. Gbé bọ́dì ẹ. Oǹdó gbé bọ́dì ẹ gbé bọ́dì ẹ. Gbé bọ́dì ẹ gbé bọ́dì ẹ. Kókó fẹ́ ìpalẹ̀ mọ́ ọmọ Jésù. Ọmọ Oǹdó ti dé. Ó yá kí má ṣe bàṣá ká máa mú pẹ́ ó jàre. Jẹ́ ń sáré dé Ìjẹ̀ṣà. Ìjẹ̀ṣà ọmọ olóbì. Ọmọ olóbì wọ́wọ́ sí rí wá. Ọmọ olóbì wọ́wọ́ sí rí wá. Hey! Ìjẹ̀ṣà èyí tó fẹ́ ni àwọ̀ sápò ẹni. Ìjẹ̀ṣà èyí tí ò bá fẹ́ ni àwọ̀ síjù. Ọmọ ẹranko àríhùn fi jẹ. Ọmọ Ìjẹ̀ṣà ọwọ́ yín dà ẹ jẹ́ ká rọwọ́ yín o. Wake up Nigeria la wà yìí. Ọmọ ọwọ́ bòkun rẹ́mi rẹ́mi o bòkun rẹ́mi Ìjẹ̀ṣà o bòkun.
Welcome back. It's Wake Up Nigeria. And here with me in the kitchen this morning is Chef Ayola of AY Sauce. And this morning she is making sweet potato porridge with spicy sauce to go with it. Yes.
I love how you say my name, by the way. I always smile anytime you just do that introduction. Really? Yeah. You put some respect in it. No, you actually
respect on it.
You put some respect on that name. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the ingredients you're working with this morning.
Yes. Okay. This is basically our stir fry.
Yeah. So in there we have carrots, sweet peas, and
Green beans, long green beans.
Yeah.
Onions.
Sweet peas.
Yes, sweet peas. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's it, literally.
Okay.
That's all. And we've just put it. As you can see, I don't know if you can see that. Can they actually see the pot?
They can.
Okay. So as you can see, there's no residue of oil. It's not draining in oil.
Okay.
It's literally almost dry.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've just garnished that with 2 seasoning cubes. No salt, because I put salt in the sweet potato.
Yeah.
And curry.
Yeah.
So we're going to show them how to like finish off the dish.
And then we, earlier on we had to boil our sweet potatoes with water and a little bit of salt. Yes.
So this is the should I say the end product of boiled sweet potatoes. And what I've done to speeding up the process is I have mashed up a bit of the sweet potato as well, so that it thickens up really fast. And there's a little bit of water left in the pot.
Okay.
So
sweet potatoes are actually don't take long to cook at all.
Yes, they're actually annoyingly fast to cook, especially when you have like a fast burner.
Okay.
So we're gonna just topple all of that in there.
Okay. Do you need another spoon?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm gonna help you with that. Okay.
Too flexible.
So here you go. Here you go.
Thank you.
Yeah. So please remember, guys, when working with non-stick pans, try not to use metal spoons.
Definitely not. They're really expensive and it won't last if you do that.
Exactly. Yeah, I learned the hard way. Yeah, so it's important for me to spread that
information. So all I'm trying to do now is I'm just trying to make sure that I cover the entire sweet potato in the juice of the stir fry, so that all the flavors go into the sweet potato. I'm just going to leave that on the heat.
Okay.
I'll leave that on the heat for another 5 minutes.
Okay.
Just so that it can actually cook together. And that's done. Basic.
Sweet potatoes, it's ready.
Yeah.
So this like making fried rice, like you said earlier on, or just making
express fried rice.
You know, there are 2 ways. True. Yes. Or just making stir-fry sweet potatoes.
Exactly. We can call it anything.
Anything. That's
and obviously, if you like chili like me, you can add some chili at this point. But I'm not going to do that.
Okay. And then our sauce, quickly, let's get to it.
Because I'm doing that with the sauce. So our sauce is basically, I'm just chopping up the last bits of my chilies.
Okay.
I wish I could show them that, but I have to wait for this. Okay, you know what? We can actually show them a little bit of that.
Okay.
We can finish this off later.
Okay.
I'm just going to add a little bit of oil.
Vegetable oil.
Into that.
And then what goes in next?
this.
The onions,
yes.
And then what's next?
Garlic.
Garlic, and then?
Very, very light. Don't let it burn.
Okay.
I keep saying that.
Yeah.
And then once that fries up a little bit, I'm going to add my paste. Toss it in a little bit. And at this point is where I put my seasoning cube.
Okay.
I find that it's best to do that once you put in your paste.
Okay.
Once your paste is fried up a little bit, add in all your chilies and let that cook for 5 minutes. Finito.
At what point does the marker go in?
It doesn't need to cook.
Okay.
So you can put it at any point. I don't like it crushed. No, I like it a bit whole. So I'll probably just add it systematically to the dish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Our dish, of course, is coming out pretty nicely. But before we head over to Yummy quickly, I'd like to give you a few health bits of what, health benefits of sweet potatoes. So basically, they're really, really healthy for diabetic patients. It helps to manage stress levels. It helps for, it helps to prevent cancer and also cardiovascular diseases as well. At this point, we'd have to move over to Yummy, who's with, of course, Mojisola Obajoye for a book chat. Hello, guys.
Thanks, MM. Now, very often, people talk about the lack of information and opportunity and how they do not have the necessary resources to take the next step in life. Joining us here for a book chat is the author of this book right here, Use What You Have, and how to take your gifts from potential to fulfill purpose. That's by Mojisola Obajoye, who's joining us this morning. Good to have you join us,
Thank you
Mojisola.
so much, Yemi.
Now, this book is exciting for many reasons. It talks about fulfilling purpose and using your gifts, which is use what you have. But a couple of other people have said that it also has some innuendos to it. Okay, use what you have. What does that mean? But you started this book with a compelling story about how, at the height of your career, you lost your job.
Yes.
Tell us about that story.
So I just got to work on a beautiful morning and I was made redundant.
Wow.
And everything I have worked for just went like that, out the door. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't thinking that could ever happen to me. But I was kind of complacent in the position I was in. This just woke up something inside of me, and that was when it all started for me. I asked myself this question: who am I? Who do I want to be? And where do I go from here? And this was how this journey started for me, the journey of use what you have.
Yeah, and the journey of self-discovery, because suddenly, yeah, you just discover that there's a lot more that you can do with your life beyond the job that you had before.
Exactly. And a lot of people do that. In our everyday lives, we tend to put all our effort in our day jobs. Inside of us is a bigger purpose. Inside of us is a calling that God has designed for us. As you know, the book is faith-based.
Yes.
And inside of me, I knew there was so much I could do. I could speak. Now I speak at international stages. And now I've written 2 best-selling books. This is the first one, Use What You Have. Now I mentor different people from different parts of the world. Now I have an image consulting business. And I still have a day job. Yeah. So,
it's a lot of things, but it took that the shake-up from being on a regular job, which was all you were doing before.
Yes.
It took that shaking from the foundations for you to then begin that journey of discovery. But do you think that needs to happen with everyone, or are there some people who find their way through another means?
Absolutely. In life, when we face challenges, there are 2 things that could happen. It's either we feel sorry for ourselves, we wallow in self-pity, and we lay in bed and not want to go out, feel depressed or discouraged. And on the other hand, you could pick up yourself up and say, no, there's so much to me. And this was what I did. I asked myself that question: who am I? Who do I want to be? And I started the journey of self-discovery. Where I was 5 years ago is not where I am now. So in all of our lives, there's a purpose inside of us. We don't have to wait to be made redundant before we discover the God-given gift that we carry inside. It's now time for everybody to get up and begin to look within themselves. A lot of us, there are a lot of writers around us. They are not tapping into that potential that they have.
Yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to even talk about, because in chapter 3, you were talking about how to discover your gift, which can be very challenging for some people, because a lot of times I've met a number of people who say, I'm not sure I have any gifts or any talents, because people equate their gifts, with their talents. But, you know, you use a couple of scriptures, a couple of things in that chapter to begin to reveal to the reader how to discover the gifts. Can you just touch on that a little bit?
Absolutely. For example, a lot of people do things naturally. That could just be their gift. In the book, I've actually explained extensively how they can actually discover if this gift is truly theirs. So if you do something, it comes to you so naturally. For example, we've talked about Asebi and Alaga Joko just earlier in the show. Yeah. You know, this comes to some people naturally. And some people could be speakers. It comes to them naturally. This could just be their gift. I gave an example of trying your gift out. If you do anything and it comes to you naturally, effortlessly, you do it and you smile, even if you don't get paid, you still do that thing. That probably will be your gift.
Right.
So, and other ways, one of the ways I discovered my gift is that I threw myself into the things I was doing. So I did as much. I did some trial and error and see, are these the things that I truly enjoy? So that could just be a way to discover your gift.
There's one of the parts of the book where you talked about dealing with fear, because it's a big challenge for many people. If you live in this part in Africa, in Nigeria, and you have a job, people usually say, "Thank God you have a job."
Yes.
And so people don't want to take risks. You know, there's that fear factor in taking steps to fulfill your purpose. Yeah. What would you say to such people?
All right, I would take it back to Nigeria. One of the people that really inspire me is Teju Babyface. He made an example one day. It's either you're here or you're there. So he said at the time when he wanted to be a comedian, his father was like, no, you've gone to school, you have to look for a day job and go to work like every normal people. He decided, no, I'm not going to do this. Daddy, this is what I want to do. Then he would sneak out of the house to pursue his dream. Where's Teju Babyface today? I know he's gone to the academy and they start to do a lot of training programs, leadership programs. You have to be willing to take a risk. You have to be willing to take chances because you never can tell what will happen. In your day job, your job is not guaranteed. You could come into work like I did 5 years ago and could be made redundant. So you have to be willing to take chances. You have to go. And if you fail, you know you have tried. Right. I'll finish with one quote from Miles Monroe. He said, one of the best days in our lives is the day we were born. And the second best day in our lives is the day we discover purpose. All of us must find, live, and fulfill purpose. If we don't do that, we go to job unhappy. A lot of us just work because we want to pay bills. A lot of us do things because we have a family to cater to. But there's a bigger purpose for all of us. It's inside of us. And this is what the book will do for you.
That's some serious Wednesday motivation for you there, fulfilling your purpose. So the book is Use What You Have by Mojisola Obazoye. We can find you on Moji in Touch on Instagram. It's
my website, www.mojintouch.com, and I'm everywhere online. And finally, we have a program, Use What You Have live masterclass in Lekki, Lagos this Saturday.
All right.
So.
All right. Thank you so much, Moji, for joining us on the show this morning. So make sure you get the book and get some serious motivation in your life. There's more after this.
Welcome back. So Thursdays represent what we might call artistic days.
Yeah.
Right? Artistic.
Artsy.
Artsy days. And I bet you've had a great show so far with us. So far, so good. After all, we are the #1 show.
With that being the case, we hope that you've also been able to nourish yourself with a little bit of what we had for you today. That motivation that we got earlier on, discovering your gifts, finding out what you should be doing.
And the alaga outside was also very groovy. But the show continues. We have about 45 minutes left. My name is Titilayo Oniso.
And I'm Yomi Okwe. Another way to watch us is to stream us live from wherever you are. tvcontinental.tv and on Facebook is what you need to go to, and that's at TVC Connect. Send in comments using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria.
Now, the TVC app is available for download right now. Go to the Android and iOS stores, download the app. You can watch us from anywhere in the world once you have it on your mobile devices. And I think we're still going artsy today.
Oh yeah, still artsy. Lots of stuff still happening. Even art is going on in the kitchen right now with MM and Chef Ayola.
Very true.
Very artsy display.
Where's the display? What did you carry on the...
what happened? Why are you guys cleaning up?
What? Where's the food?
Because food is ready.
It's all over.
Yeah.
They've made the food.
You were just about the last time.
Exactly.
You guys are comedians.
Yeah, that's what happens in the kitchen, actually.
Yeah. So anyway, we have art display and self-taught Nigerian photographer Alfredo Akimade, who produces premium photographs through the use of detailed documentary style storytelling. He's going to be joining us to tell us a few stories.
Yes, indeed.
Wow, fantastic. Look at that. Look at those shots. Really, really good.
And finally, joining us for a chat and performance is jazz pianist Wole Oni. He's carved a special niche for himself in the world of jazz and gospel music. He's also a music producer, programmer, writer, and so much more. Okay.
All right, so I saw a tweet this morning that someone said, I actually wanted us to talk about it during the coffee gist, but we didn't get a chance to. Anyway, so someone said that bringing your hand out of your car to, you know, maybe indicate that you want to go into a lane or something is an indicator that the country is bad.
Oh, wow. Why?
I really don't understand why that person would say so. Yeah, but he believes that Nigeria has gotten to that point where you do not have to bring out, I mean, that's why you have your indicators in the first place. You do not need to bring out your hand. You have to wind down and bring your hand out of your car for someone to get that you actually want to go on here, like enter his lane or that sort of thing. So
well, sometimes, because I remember the highway codes from when we were younger.
Exactly what I wanted to say.
In the 90s, one of the things that you're allowed to do is to, in fact, you use the palm of your hand, you stick it out, and then
so
do
my dad,
this.
my dad had the
So once you do this with your,
when I was younger, I remember that code. And then you see, even inside, so they'll tell you that even if you're inside and you want to indicate to the other side, yeah, so there. Yeah, but my point is, there are many indices.
Point that way.
So you do this,
there are many indices, right? That you can use to say things are not okay. But this one, there are plenty others. Plenty.
So I bet people
But why do you need to use your hand to make signals? Exactly.
Okay, so there's something called defensive driving, right? So you have to think that you are the only sane person on the road.
Yeah. Exactly.
True. You have to think that way, right? So when you go that way, you expect that anything could happen, and so it's more or less like a double caution and all that. Defense.
So some people. So yeah, but what if, for instance, your indicator lights just don't happen to work at that point in time?
Yeah.
Something could have happened at that point in time that maybe the light just busted or the bulb just went out.
You also know very much that.
It just helps to reinforce.
Yeah, but you also know very much that we as Nigerians really do not take so much care of our cars.
Well, I think things are changing now.
Really do.
Things are changing now. And of course, the road safety guys are working really hard on beefing up the rules now.
Catching people that don't.
Catching people. Driver's license, making sure that all the, I mean, your car, every car must have items that every driver should have.
Even the MOT check. You know, once you drive your car onto that machine, it does a full check, scan of everything. Really at least you would know. At least you are aware.
Those cars that come from border that will be like this. Most of us will spoil the MOT machine.
Welcome back. It's Wake Up Nigeria. And of course, you know that every Thursday is our Artsy Day on the show. And this morning with me is Alfredo Akimade. He's a self-taught photographer. And I mean, your work is amazing. Welcome to the show. I just really needed to put that out there. I mean, I saw your work and I'm like completely blown away from it.
Thank
now
you so
let's
much.
talk about how this comes naturally to you, because I mean you studied mass communication.
Yes, I did.
So how did this come to you naturally?
Well, basically, this is more or less like a day-to-day thinking, what we go through in the society.
Yeah.
Well, it might not be what we go through in the society, but just basic thoughts. What's happening to us, that one, this one, you understand? So that's how it goes. That's how I get most of my works.
Okay, let's talk about you being a self-taught photographer, which of course, you particularly teaching yourself through this process should be an inspiration to a lot of young people. So how did you come about the idea of, oh, I want to be a photographer? And how did you teach yourself through, getting to this point where you are right now?
Well, I started photography with my phone.
Okay.
It's a Samsung phone. So basically, I used to have interest in clouds, how the clouds are, how beautiful they look. You understand? So, so I came about it. Then I was privileged to have my first camera. Then.
Oh, okay.
Then it all started that way.
It just started that way.
It just started that
Fantastic.
way. Then I was also privileged to have few people around me who could put me through.
Okay, like
So,
your uncles,
yes,
aunties, who are also photographers, or just regular?
Yeah, just regular people, but one particularly
is a photographer.
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about your work. All right. So you have like amazing stuff, which of course we are going to have. I saw this picture and I'm like, what came to mind? Like for every picture that how do you come about the idea for every picture? For example, this one, how did you come about this idea? What were you thinking? What was going through your mind when you started to take this, portrait?
Yeah. I love black and white, and I love shadows a lot.
Obviously, I can see that.
Shadows are very interesting.
Okay.
Without shadows in your pictures, it looks very plain.
Really?
It's not going to be as creative as we all think.
Oh, really? Wow. But I see a lot of photographers who actually want the lights to shine very well to make sure every shadow there's no shadow in your picture. So I'm surprised that you like to work with shadows.
Yeah, that's, whenever you're doing something for yourself or you're trying to grow, when you have to understand your market.
Yeah.
Basically, and I see a lot of photographers doing makeup shoot editorials, that one, this one, and okay, I spoke to myself. I said, what can I do to stand out?
Stand out, true.
I'm not saying I'm the one who started black and white shadows and all, but it gives me joy doing it, and
you love it.
And I love it. That's
all right. So while we're still going to go through some of your pictures, let's talk about how social media has, influenced your work, because I know a lot of photographers who social media has actually, put their work out there. So how has social media been able to influence the work that you do?
Well, social media is a great place to be, and at the same time, it's a bad place to be.
All right.
But it has helped me a lot. Exposure, meeting, trying to put out myself out there.
Yeah.
And at times it's difficult in this country if you don't know someone who knows who.
We are coming to that because you are an art photography, which is very distinct. What you do is quite distinct compared to we have a lot of photographers who are wedding or event photographers, and that is actually very much lucrative. But you are into storytelling and documentary, which is becoming like a new thing in this climb. So how is this lucrative for you? Because I really want to know.
Well, it is.
Okay.
It's actually lucrative.
Okay.
But yeah, like I say, you still have to know who knows someone.
Now let's talk about this picture quickly. What was the idea behind this one?
Yeah, I was on a photo walk with a friend, and that was this picture. This picture is basically. It's just the day-to-day activities in the market.
In the marketplace.
It was taken in Mile 12.
Mile 12 market?
Yeah, Mile 12.
Wow, are you serious? Interesting. That is an amazing picture, very beautiful one there. All right. So there is other. So let's talk. It's a lot of. Okay. Yes, I was actually looking for this particular one.
Okay.
Tell me about this one.
This one is if we can see these pictures perfectly, you see there are a lot of things going on in the background.
Yeah.
You can see a boy standing. Maybe he didn't have the opportunity to go to school, or that's where he's been brought up, something like that. And you see a lot of vendors of yam flour, people coming to the market, buying different sort of things.
Yes, so I can tell that a lot of work went into this picture. Is it important for every photographer to also know how to edit?
Well, yeah, editing is not a compulsory thing
for
every photographer.
Okay.
Like one of my mentors used to tell me that it's not compulsory you edit
your pictures.
But the main thing is just get your pictures right, the framing and everything. Just get it right. Then, if you decide you want to go into the creative editing part of it, then you can do it. But the main thing is just get your pictures right, your framing and everything.
Look at that one. What inspired you to take this picture? I mean, this is a very rare photo. You don't see this every day. Tell me about it.
This one is a mother and child picture. We can see in a day-to-day life that mother's love is so unconditional for everybody. Although we can see here that I didn't take pictures of the mother because there was something that attracted me to that child. And you can see the child looks excited, if I may put it, that she looks excited, that she's very comfortable with her mother.
Yes, so I'm curious, what's that thing, that thing, I don't know, what would you call it?
It looks blood.
It's blood. Is that what you call it?
It looks blood, but that's just the effect. It's just the effect.
It's nothing serious.
It's nothing serious.
Nothing serious.
It's just, the child is not coming off.
I just wanted to be sure. Oh, I love this picture of, this is Makoko, right? It's so hard to tell. Where is it?
It is.
Yeah, it's so hard to tell that it's Makoko. I mean, this is a beautiful picture. Loving the landscape, loving everything. It's so, 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 so beautiful. Thank you so much, Alfredo. I really love your work.
Thank you so much.
And I'm wishing you all the best.
Thank you so much.
In this industry. It's a great industry, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
All right, there's so much more going on the show. Let's enjoy this performance from Wole Oni in the Garden.
Welcome back. Ambassador Wale Oni.
I like that. Ambassador.
Ambassador.
I think I should stick something to my name as well.
Really?
You know,
What? What would you
Chief
say?
Yomi Okwe.
Chief Yomi Okwe. Okay, so Wale Oni is a Nigerian-born, sophisticated, multi-international award-winning worship leader, music producer extraordinaire. He's also a programmer, scriptwriter, and so much more.
Super talented fellow. Now, he's also the United Nations Peace Ambassador, and his accomplishments include a tremendous amount of high-profile projects with notable artists. Now, this guy is truly international. And even his shoes are making a statement this morning.
More the bling on those feet. But it's really great to have you in the studio.
Thank you very much for having me tonight, this morning.
All right, and you've already performed today. You've
Right.
already felt some of your music.
Thank you very
But you know, the question for me when I meet musicians like you is, how did you find a direction? How did you know it was jazz music you were going to stick with? You know, how come you didn't decide sometime go mainstream, you know?
Well, I think the background that I have was jazz music and classical music. I grew up listening to all of those music, and that kind of formed, you know, my structure and my path in terms of music. But I do all kind of music. I'm not limited to jazz or so.
Whenever we see you, it's always has a jazzy feel.
It's a jazzy feel. Yeah.
When it comes to my own thing, I do jazz. But of course, you know that to circulate yourself in the industry, you also have to be able to do other stuff that would be able to aggregate something substantial for you. So for me, I delve into other kind of music, but jazz music and classical music is my bedrock.
Yeah. One of the things that I've always wanted to ask people like you, especially people who have so much exposure and you've so many different opportunities, is how do you, the process for finding opportunity, you have talent, you have skill, but there's a lot of other people who have talent and skill as well, but a lot of opportunities just comes naturally for some people. What would you say are, let me say, secrets for someone like you? That, you know, suddenly people are discovering you that, oh, that guy's good, let's use him for this. Oh, that guy's good, let's fly him over to the US.
I think it's one word: preparedness. You must be prepared. You can't just, nothing happens by, you know, accident. You can say, when I get the opportunity to do something, I would then try to practice and get, you have to be ready. So when it comes, it meets you on, on your A game. You know, you have it to be able to give the punchline to everything and anything you do. So for me, I think some of the things I've been doing at the background, you know, while growing up, I was just doing it without a full glimpse of the future that, okay, I'm going to be like this. But of course, I prepared myself, so in case or in the situation or the advent of me finding myself in this scenario, what am I going to do? I remember a time that I was, taken abroad to go talk about the African percussion and working with guys who have been in that industry for over 40 years. And when I started to talk and tell them about the technicality of our instrument, they were dumbfounded, like, how did you know that? I said, hey, I've been playing with Fuji, juju music and all of this, and in my time. So it's just preparedness that would factor that in action.
I wanted to, touch on the fact that you're a UN ambassador.
Right.
What sort of activities have you been able to embark on to, push this forward a little?
Okay, yes. I do a lot of, programs for the young people, youth empowerment event, and not just in Nigeria, but of course, outside the shore of this country. I've been able to inspire and educate young people about how to value your talent, your God-given talent, not to also depend on, this get-rich-quick syndrome that is everywhere now. Yeah. People just feel that I wake up tomorrow, I become rich. So to understand that hard work pays, consistency is very important. Put in everything that you have and leave the rest, to God to let let everything
one of the things that is added to your profile is that you're a programmer. So I've always wondered about that, because you could have just stuck with being very good with your instrument, which would have been good enough, but you then decided to start programming music as well. So talk to us about that aspect of...
Okay, for me, I love sound. I love to play with sound. As much as you can see the natural sound and the electronic sound, I love to program sound. I love to to get into the space of things that are not physical, to be able to bring it to reality. And in that case, I was also, named by AMA for the first African to be, to be endorsed because of that. And so all of that for me, I see sound. I see it, not hear it. I hear it, but I see it.
But you also see it.
Yes, it's
because we can actually feel that. Like watching the music yesterday, and even today, what you were doing, you can actually feel that it's deeper than just okay. I have the skill. Let me just do it. And it's pretty awesome.
We know that we can't give you one of those beautiful plaques that you have on your shelf at home, but we can give you something to taste in the kitchen.
Oh, that would be awesome.
We have an amazing chef who has put together, please join us.
Okay.
She's put together something amazing.
Okay.
And would like you to tell us what you think about it. Hello. Welcome to the kitchen, Wale.
Morning.
Good morning.
Oh, I'm to see that?
Yes,
Oh, okay. Thank you for the honor.
This is Chef Ayola.
Okay.
Welcome to the kitchen.
Let's show
this
everyone.
This is Chef Ayola of AY
like.
Subs. And this morning she's made sweet potatoes with spicy fish sauce. I hope you like spice.
Yes, I hope you like spice.
Extremely.
No, this one is spicy.
I'm a real African man.
Okay.
So I love it.
All right, so Ayola, while he's tasting that, quickly go.
Tell us how you do it.
How I made the dish.
Okay.
Quick rundown. We just boiled the potatoes with a bit of salt.
Okay.
Put that to the side. We fried some vegetables with onions and some carrots and peas and green beans. Put a bit of curry, seasoning cube. Once that was done, we combined the potato and the vegetables together, and we let it simmer for a bit. But then we crushed some potatoes as well, didn't we? Just to get a bit of thickness in the sauce. And then that was really pretty much what we did with the potatoes. The sauce, very basic, a bit of onions, a little bit of garlic, some tomato paste. What else? Chili.
Chili.
A lot of chili.
And mackerel fish.
And fish.
You people are talking, I'm the only
One thing I'll tell you is this. The taste and the smell is the same.
Oh, thank you. That is so weird that you said that. My sister always
I love
says
the smell when I came. I'm like, oh, something is different in the atmosphere. So tasting this is very delicious.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well done.
Thanks for enjoying our meal.
Yes, we have to rush off now.
I think you might need some water as well.
To say our thank yous. A big thank you to everyone who showed up on the show today, all the guests, all the performers. It's been great. A big shout out to our friends at Homely NG for all the kitchen accessories.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And we're going to be back again tomorrow, but we're not rounding off the show just yet. Something special is happening.
Yes, so by the way, thank you, Fola, for the amazing hair. Love it, love it, love it. But we have Yetunde Duduyemi in the garden right now.
Let's big boogie.
Drummers.
And with that, we say bye-bye for today.
I will take Jehovah. I will take Jehovah. I will. Eh, tikon. Tikon sa bazimbo. Tikon. Tikon sa bazimbo. Eh, abasi ayaya oh my. Ayaya eh. Abasi ayaya eh. Ayaya. Oh yeah, my handsome bobo. Handsome bobo. Handsome bobo. Handsome bobo. My sexy bobo. Sexy bobo. Sexy bobo. My yáyáyá ó wá dilé ronú tèmi àtàtà ọmọ ọlọ́lá títí oyin sàn yé mo bá ròde o ọmọ ọlọ́lá àpọ̀ndépo rẹ ọmọ wọn lè kó àkété àwọn ti Jagaban ọ̀gá tí wàá lè pátápátá mo ṣèbàrẹ̀ àwọn Tambode àwọn ti Sanwó-Olú àwọn Èkó nìyẹn àjọmísá sáwálé àjọmísá sáwálé orí burúkú kì í ṣe tèmi o ìbànújẹ́ kì í ṣe tèmi o ó lè gọ́ ṣàǹsó máa broad ìbànújẹ́ kì í ṣe tèmi o ó yá nítorí gómìnà wa tuntun o Babájídé Sanwó-Olú Babájídé o ẹni bínú rẹ̀ á lọ sódò lọ́wẹ́ o.